key. Oh. Why does it do that? Okay, I am live. I'm live. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh. I wasn't expecting it to pop out this quick. Okay. It started with credits and stuff, opening credits. So I thought it was about to show some. All right, let me do my intro first. Game, come on now. All right, stream. This is day 7. I am playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Edition. I'm playing this for the first time ever. I've never actually played the original game or this one. So, we're playing it for the first time. I think I watched it when it came out. But this was years ago, so I don't remember a thing. I saw that you might be able to beat this in like an hour and a half, so we're gonna try and beat this before the stream ends. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. No. See, I couldn't even lie. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. See, I don't know about y'all, but this is like, it's barely visible there. And that's all the way down, so turn it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright, wait. Should I use computer? I mean computer, Jesus Christ. Should I use controller? I'm gonna use controller. 9, 20. Should I do 9:21 just to make sure that, wait. Oh, is it military time? No. Okay. 9:20 p.m. 9:21. Hold on. I gotta get it right. Gotta get it on point. Hold on. It's 9:20. Gotta give it 1 minute. Less than 1 minute. Hold up. Did it just turn 9:20 when I looked at it? This is the longest minute. It's about to happen. Achoo. Wow. I sneezed and I was a little late. I fake sneeze. Alright, okay. Let's go. Okay. Oh wow. Look at that. That's cool. I think we'll leave all of this the same. I think we should be good. Okay. All right. Are we ready? I'm ready. Let's go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, the goal for this game, because I get distracted very easily, I'm going to try and not, get distracted. I feel like I should turn reticle on, because I'm not going to know what I'm...
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh, okay.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
No,
what if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
Wait.
He had never been trained for that. No.
I'm trying.
This couldn't go any way except badly.
Distracted.
The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
All right, let's not close that door again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? Nice mug there. This makes me want to play Portal again. Oh, I turned it off. Okay, my bad. I might play Portal for stream. 1 and 2. Y'all can watch me struggle through puzzles. Does anybody else have a voice in their head like that? Awaiting input. On the real though, does anybody else have like an inner monologue? And I'm not talking anime style. I'm talking like when you're thinking in your head, do you hear your own voice? Or do you hear, like, I don't know. I'm not explaining. Does it feel like you're reading words? Or do you actually hear yourself saying the words? I'm assuming meeting room is this way. Let's hide. I need to play
When
Half-Life
Stanley
2.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, the employee lounge. That's crazy. There's a lot of people who are in this situation where...
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Clicking everything. No, there's people who do the same stuff every day.
Yes, really,
Like this.
really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ooh, first open door, slide to the right. Slide to the right.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, see, this is why. Could y'all work in a place like this? I don't know if I could do it.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
That was intrusive thoughts
Let me
on 10
prove
right
that
there. I'm
I'm
sorry.
on your side.
I didn't mean
Give
to.
me a chance.
I honestly just... I don't know what I was planning on doing there. My bad, narrator. I'll go this way. Danger everywhere. Danger. Click everything. One of these doors will open.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Oh, the Matrix.
Stanley walked through the red door.
You can't give me two choices until...
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
That's like...
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, blue.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map. because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Ceiling light.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
Oh.
Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Thinking for a light.
Oh,
3.
of course. A 3. Really? Maybe
So
next
light
time
3.
we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What is this? Parable worldwide leaderboard. Did you know that 21% of players skip the intro sequence? Only the worst 3% of players Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. How long does it take you to get to the correct door? Wait. Doors open, doors attempted, steps taken. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is me. Wait. That's 7 minutes and 37 seconds? You're objectively ranked 9,328th out of 9,328 players worldwide. Is this real data? Oh, no, it can't be because it just says Stanley 427. Okay. It would have been nice if they had some real data. That would have been cool. Yeah, because I'm sure. Oh. 98.9% of players are more attractive than Stanley. Damn, that's fucked up. Hey, you know what, bruh?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I feel assaulted.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing.
I meant to say
You wouldn't
offended.
mind taking a look at it, would you?
Insult.
Let me boot it up.
I'm offended. That's what I meant to say.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be
Okay.
sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
Damn.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Is this Firewatch?
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower.
That's
perhaps
fucked
for
up.
some sort of twisted
That's
erotic.
another game I need to play.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of
They make this
total
game?
mental
Assuming they
depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Only thing I know about this game is that there is a penis drawing. This is actually hilarious. That they completely swapped the game up on me. Alright. I wasn't listening to what he said. Jesus. I don't know if I bought this game, but I think I'm gonna buy it next. What's up, Ginger Shell? How you doing tonight?
Oh no. No, it can't be.
What copy?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off.
Oh, no! My freedom!
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Come on,
We're
man.
out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Oh.
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
It does look really nice.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Apparently that's another game. Oh my god, no they didn't.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had
No
in
they
mind.
didn't.
Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There
What?
isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
How? How? How?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game
No.
sports ball?
No.
Stanley, I think it's sports ball.
I shouldn't
what
be a
fun.
human walking on
We
this.
shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
No. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. Oh. Wait, no way. No way. I gotta hit in the blue door. In the blue goal. Blue's the favorite.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
I'm
Is
winning,
it better than my
Dad.
miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
winning,
Stanley, I
Dad.
have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls
Go.
makes for an
Go.
even more euphoric sports experience. Hold on. What are you doing?
I
Stanley,
slipped.
don't
I
do that. I
swear.
can't follow you there. I can't help you.
I swear I didn't mean
How
to
will
go
you
down
write
there.
a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come.
I became the car, Kid Boy. I became the car. I wasn't expecting it. Oh shit. Oh fuck. I need to look where I walk. These doors don't open. Gotta check them all. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, big oops. Nope. Thought it was another hole I can go through. you playing over there? Like some hacker stuff. Some forex trading right there. Did I unlock the deluxe edition yet? Oh, these are launch codes right here. Where? Oh, that was my number.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Jesus. Did I beat the game? Never the end is never... What? Speed
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, now we know what happened the first time we went through the right door. But what could happen the second time?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, paintings.
Yes,
View, yes.
this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Jesus. Okay, we're gonna go this way again.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5
We're gonna
years
see how
ago.
many endings we can get now.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
I'm
off
not
on the
gonna jump
wrong
off
foot
this time.
here. I'm not your enemy, really.
If you
I'm
missed
not.
it, I jumped off.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
What if I jumped all
Someone
the way
you've
down?
forgotten about.
I'm not gonna
Please, stop trying to make every
thoughts.
decision by yourself. Now, I'm
Intrusive
not
thoughts.
asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
It's not creepy at all.
But that's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait.
I
Oh,
didn't
goodness.
expect
Stanley, did you
that
just
to work.
unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that?
I don't know.
You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible?
You tell
None
me.
of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
That makes sense.
I can't believe I was so mistaken.
I am
This
not a
is why
bot.
you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
I might have to play Detroit.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice.
Appreciate the likes, by the way.
He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages
Thank
across
ya.
the
I don't know
world
who
to make
did it.
life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find
I don't know
yourself
that
speaking
math.
with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
It's from Florida.
Do you
That's
make
what it
more
is.
than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay. Oh, we're going all the way back?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't
Oh,
have
they
you jumping off the
negated it all.
platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the
can't
story.
jump
That
now.
story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems
do the
this
ritual.
place is not well equipped to deal
do the
with
ritual.
reality.
Gotta do the ritual. Gotta do the ritual. Oh, they're lucky. I'm a menace to society. I can't be tamed. What does that say? Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death and a $5,000 fine. Okay. E2. Let's go. Oh, alright. You must not know they call me Jericho. Find a way to break these walls. Okay. Okay. So
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
the real world, eh?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hey, you can call me Yelness, because I'm going backwards.
No! Why did you do that?
Thought about
Quickly,
that for so
hurry
long.
back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too
Stanley
late.
Yelness. Holes. It's a good movie. Yelness. Yeah. Damn. We're in the back rooms.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I...
Standard. What does that say?
No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
No. No! No!
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are.
I want to play
My
Portal
entire
now.
game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make...
Tried so hard.
...is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right, now hear me out. The fourth time, though.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Is behave exactly as Stanley would.
thought it was gonna make me
That
do the whole
means
thing.
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What about the 5th time, though, you know? 5 times the charm, right? He didn't even say anything this time.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
6?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Sorry, stream.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't like following rules. Alright. You had me on the 7th time, I guess. Is there a lean button?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Number of slides on this slide. Slides, charts, charts and slides. Broom closet. I feel like there's a door if I jiggle the handle enough times. It'll break open.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yo, Ness. My boss got such a fancy ass office. Oh. What'd that say? The page paces. Okay.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
What the fuck?
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions.
Are we not going to
and
talk
beyond
about
all
this?
probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
I had to check. Please speak clearly into
Stanley
the receiver.
spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Am I supposed to say it? Am I supposed to say it?
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
You didn't give me a voice box. Night Shock 115.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Damn.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley?
Gma.
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
What?
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
Why is he so sad?
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
I feel bad, man. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Endings now.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright. Now we haven't done this, or have we done this? He forced us to go this way, so let's go this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Let's do this.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Alright, we'll go through the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The 2 of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
Oh, it's PT.
I wanted to stop.
They brought it back. PT's back.
We would both be so much happier if
Where's
we
Daryl
just
Dixon?
stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Jonas. I didn't know how long I would go without.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Hmm?
Whoa, what is going on? Trippy.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Can't jump off. You feel bliss?
No,
Far Cry
wait.
5.
Where are you going?
Fuck your happiness.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
I'm gonna trip up the stairs. Come on now.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think of... No!
Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Is there fall damage?
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
This might get
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me
No.
from being happy. Am I
No,
reading
we're
the
just checking to see if
situation
there's fall
correctly?
damage.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along.
I feel
I
like I'm
guess
getting
that was too much to
slower,
ask.
so I think I might have broken my
It
legs.
looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Okay. Do we do it? Jonas.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Damn, we started over?
When Stanley came to a set of
Oh.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting
really
room,
thought
and
about it that
Stanley knew
time.
it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager
that-
to
was
get
that a
back
third
to
ending?
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story is... What?
Oh, I missed.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay. Was that like
How
another
long
ending?
was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I don't know what I was
Stanley
thinking.
felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. Giddy in a way, but eager to get back to
Oh, mom's
business,
spaghetti.
Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
Oh, I
foot
get it.
here.
I am the
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact
wait
is
till
that the
this is
story has
top.
been about nothing but you all this... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh,
Oh,
the red door.
thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Can't stop. I'm a tornado. Woo! I twisted my way into the door.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes.
If you're blessed.
It's beautiful, isn't it? No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, no! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Oh, trippy.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
No, I can't stop moving. I'm gonna stop moving. Aliens. If I move again.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
What do you want? Not gonna talk about this painting? This little drawing here? I'm not gonna talk about this? I'm not gonna talk about this? Narrator, you're slipping. I don't wanna be trippy. It's too bright. Oh. I can't, man. This is bad for my eyes. I'm assuming I'm just waiting. Oh my god. Alright, alright. I'll wait. I'll wait. Hands off the controller, I'll wait. Start it over. I'm waiting. Controller almost fell. Then I'm waiting. How long do I wait? I'm getting impatient. Twiddles thumbs. This isn't the life I want to live. There's something with that painting, bro.
No. No, no. What do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
It's like a good photo right there, you know, if y'all want to take some thumbnail shots.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Okay, what if I jump to
God.
the point?
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
It's another thumbnail photo with the subtitles, you know. Just go send that to,
Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
I don't know, man. If you keep giving me these goddamn neon lights and shit.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Man, I think the end is the end, you know? Just gotta take it head on, right? Definitely walking slower because is there something like I'm missing? Or is there really just no way out of this? Other than to jump. Crowbar. Where's my crowbar at? I want my family back. Give me back my family. I'm trying to give y'all some photography inspiration, you know? That right there is a good photo.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait. Damn it, I meant to go to one that takes me to the phone.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I wonder, is there an interaction button that I'm... Okay, there might not be.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that.
How the hell did this car get here?
In a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished.
Okay.
His boss would think he was
Assuming
crazy.
that opens it out.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Yes.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Yeah, why?
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply
Backwards.
repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
PT.
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
Oh, wow,
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Oh.
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
How did you get out?
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
I need to play 12
Everything
minutes.
will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming.
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What the fuck?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, it's this game. It's always completely different now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Dog mode. No. I just got 2 achievements. Wow. Oh, this is my door. I'm gonna turn it up, dog mode. Oh, that's hilarious.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm trying to think. Ah, man. I want to answer the phone. Alright, we'll do that one. That'll be the last thing I do is answer the phone.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Go to the office. I think once I get to the office, there's only one way to go. Oh. Never mind. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say that's a lovely purse. Is that what that says? Say that's a lovely purse. Is this a song that I've never heard? do that last time. I think I did. I think I did touch that door. Oh. I can. What is this paint? What is this painting, bro? What is this? Business strategy. Hold a polar bear at gunpoint. Damn, bruh. He must really hate Poe. Is that his name from Kung Fu Panda? Elevator? Oh, a cursor. Wait. Should we go down or up? Go up. This gave me flashbacks to a song. Oh, I don't remember the name of the song. It's like a pool involved in the music video. That's all I remember. Is that the narrator singing? It's a long elevator ride. I saw a cursor. He's really singing, man. Yo, how long is this elevator? Well, now we have to see what happens when you go down. What in the world? Think this will get copyrighted? No on YouTube is like. Yeah, I think it just literally loops that music. That was the elevator ending, huh?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
It's completely
Shocked,
different.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay. Two, carry to 1, 7.
2845.
Yes, okay. Nope, that's not it. Date of birth. Let's see. February
forgot. But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, what did he do?
Damn, bro. Wait. That's, oh my god. Oh, shit. I was gonna ask how you got that up here. Jesus. Where are the launch codes? It didn't let me press up. It only gave me the down option. Loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Word. Whoa. I would go back up, but I'm not gonna do that.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
This game, bro. Took a screenshot. That was a thumbnail right there. I have a thumbnail now. Where's Professor X? I've got an idea.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Employee observation protocol.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Damn.
Each bore the
They
number
fired
of
Jeff.
an employee in the building,
And Tim.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where's my number? 427, 427, 427. Right there. Oh, these are the cameras in the room. Okay. I got you. I thought it was like the POV. I was hoping it would be POV so it could like show me looking at the camera.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
Insane.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Shit.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh, it said 5, so are there other buttons? Are there 4 other buttons? There's one up there. I think that said 4. I wonder if it's a countdown. I can't get up there. I also can't see. Man, bro, where's my portal gun? I really want to get that button. I want to press the button. I can't go up there though. Was that another button? There's another button. Okay, it's a 3. So maybe I should. Oh, I didn't even see these over here. Alright, let me press them in order. 1, 2. 3. Are you open yet? I can't see. This probably looks like ass on stream. I'm assuming. Unless I'm tripping, maybe there's another way to get up the stairs. I can't see nothing. I think I've reset it, maybe. Still can't. Is there another way up? I'll just go through the door then. I'll just go through the door, fine. 5 on the way out.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Got another thumbnail. Oh. What happens if I hit on? It's another ending.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his
what I'm
co-workers
saying.
gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
The trees are back.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin,
This ain't
the
the city.
feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, I just got an achievement for beating the game. Alright. Okay. Let's go answer the phone. And then
All
that'll
of his
be,
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
that'll be the last
Stanley
thing.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I just... Oh, why do you do this to the game?
New content? What does that
Why
mean?
did you
New
do this to the
content.
game? What?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Oh, man.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Give me the content. Give me the content. Oh.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Wait, I can't jump no more. Oh, I can't jump. It's another thumbnail.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Alright. What's in... Bro.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Yo, this game is never ending. My camera's about to die too.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Skyrim? Oh my god, what is...
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Number thumbnails, huh?
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. The fourth wall breaking is insane in this game. What is this? What? Oh, this is The Last of Us, bro. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Jesus. What does that say? The memory zone temp. This is insane. Buy on Steam or download the demo. Is this what Steam used to look like? Jesus. Nah, this might have been like their official website or something. Mozilla Firefox. Jesus. Smile because it happened. It's a little thumbnail right there. Stanley Parable demonstration. It's a demo. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Is that an actual achievement? Because technically I've never played it. Imagine, is that actually an achievement? Because that would actually be hilarious. Game innovation. These must be real awards. Debut game. Yeah, these must be real awards. I'm really just taking these just to say I did, you know. Why? Oh man. Why is that piano there?
Je suis dans la mémorisation, seul sur l'abri des loups, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
What is going on?
C'est là, dans la mémorisation, où je me
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
Hey, we got a little tree.
It was literally
a little bit of
every
trees back.
game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Oh man. I thought these were my thumbnails. I was about to say. Oh, it's Portal. Yo, this is tripping me out. This game is tripping me out. This is Minecraft. What the fuck? Let's begin again. This game's got too many references, bro. It's tripping me out. Wait. The original remake. Person of the Year. That is a creepy photo of all the buttons. The only two characters. That thing right there, yeah. It's down the stairs. Knowing your city. Memory zone maintenance. Jesus. was playing on a Mac. Playing on a Macintosh. Collector's edition. Oh, it comes with a tie. Was this a real thing? Your number is 29. Don't know. They can't do anything, literally anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
My camera's about to die. So, you might lose my face soon.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Yeah, me neither.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Probably not. Knowing how Steam reviewers are. That's a review bomb right there.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Shit.
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I can't believe this game is still going. Not recommended.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. But dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Nah, it's great, bro. It's great.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay. Oh.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof! Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And...
Oh my God.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with...
The fire alarm? Yeah, I think we broke the narrator.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever.
Did we break him?
The end is never the end, 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 is
It's flooding. Bro. Oh my god. I'm speechless, bro. What the fuck? Oh, look at your trees, they're back. I am speechless, dude. No. And the trees are gone. How much time is passing? What was that? What's going on? It was pretty while it lasted. I'll say that. Oh. Jesus.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Y'all can't keep doing this to me. No. Oh, please. Can't unplug those. No, bro.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you. You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What? Thumbnail? Yo, this game is
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
I wouldn't mind working in an office like this. The color red leverage holistic value.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Who drew these?
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Scrum, design, pitch, break, pitch, design, number 2, chat. Sway to the show floor. Oh. Why does this look so good? Why does this look like something I want to be a part of? Oh my god, thumbnail.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Look at that. Wait. You are the sequel. It's some cult shit. Red is the new orange. The baby is all grown up. No. What's that? What's that feedback? Jump circle, infinite hole. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Well, I gotta see that. Please, no screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Wait, happy 12th birthday, step niece? What's that even mean? It will someday, it's fine.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Thank you,
Or actually,
narrator.
maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Get a shirt, bruh. The button that says the name of the player. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Let's try it.
Jim.
Nope.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
My name's
Okay,
Jeff.
here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the
Yeah,
money.
right.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too
All the
emotionally
Jims playing
drained
this
from
game.
all of
I
this
hope that
personal
feels
validation.
special.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all
No.
sense of who you
My
actually
name.
are.
Can never be too much Jim. This is
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
epilogue. My name Jim. Look at the double exposure of the lady who was. That is hilarious. Free achievement. Settings world champion. I kind of want to go to that infinite hole though. Free new easy achievement. Get it here. Who did they design it after? Free achievement. Get yours right now. Pull the lever. Receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours now.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken.
Where's my
I'm
achievement?
not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Jesus. Dang it, dude. I'm so close to 100% in this game. Just need that one achievement.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Where's that infinite hole? Oh, the jump circle. I don't have any more jumps.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
I want to go see this. How's my camera not died yet? Whoops. Oh, Jesus.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be
Oh, am
no
I
reward
floating
for
right now?
collecting all of them.
There
I
it
don't
is.
want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a
Camera's
number go
going.
up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Alright, hold on. 1 sec. Alright. I didn't expect to play this game this long, I'll be honest. So, you know, the camera was... I don't even know if this one's got a battery in it. I realized that I still have to do my outro, so I'm gonna need my camera. It should be back in a second. Should be back in a second. Yeah, there we go. Alright. There's 6 of them? Wait, is there actually 6 of them in this game?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Where's this infinite hole? Oh, it's over there. I legit, when I started this stream, I said that I was gonna play like an hour and a half of this game. And I wasn't gonna get distracted. Now look at me. I'm going through a goddamn museum. Oh. Okay.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact,
Except
a
for Portal.
hole that you can fall down
Might be the
forever.
joke.
That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I don't know if I like that. Bro. Real back rooms vibes.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Should I press it?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley.
a lot of
I'm a liar
cigarettes.
and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually
It's a
fascinated by
Roman
falling.
numeral 2.
What normal person actually wants to
Pause
fall
button is a Roman
infinitely?
numeral 2.
I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things
had
we
2
didn't
PM
mean.
sincerely.
Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then
Mostly
go ahead and
infinite.
press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Should I? I'm so tempted. I'm not gonna do it. I was so tempted to go back down. Oh man, you can't give me these types of games, bro. I'm gonna just play these endlessly. I guess these are the only types of games that I can really play for hours without losing my focus. Have we done everything? I think so. I think we've done everything.
Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Oh. What is so important about the bucket? Yeah, I think this is the last thing, the bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
This is my
It's
second
the
cup.
Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Just, making sure.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Thanks.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
You know what? This is the first time I've ever actually wanted to hold a bucket. So, thank you, narrator. You really changed my life here. For the better. I'm gonna go take my bucket now. Why is this bag here? That's suspicious. Get that double exposure.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
I need those
Hold on.
collectibles.
Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Oh.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Looking. Oh my god.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I'm sure
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
What is that, a drawing of?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
We're gonna follow the directions.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I can still go downstairs. That's weird. I'll go upstairs.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. the bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure
It
of a
has two
job
of
well
6 though.
done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows
The
I've
bucket
tried.
is amazing.
So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Kind of wonder if I missed it. Oh, Jesus. I feel like... it's past my bedtime. It's way past my bedtime. But I can't stop playing.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you, Bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on
Ginger,
track.
you're the sole survivor.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were
And I
knowingly
appreciate it.
walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Oh! Ow. Uh-oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
No. No.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
No. No!
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Poor bucket. They really took my bucket away. Oh my god, there's a bucket exhibit.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than
Bucket.
Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Bucket! He took the... What in the world? Oh, this is the first ever bucket. Inferno bucket. What's going on? The stress bucket and analogy. Oh my god.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh my god. Let me get it. I'm jumping. Oh, I didn't have to jump. My bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Jesus Christ. The sequel is now paused. Oh, what?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Figurine Finders Committee meeting today in meeting room. Oh my. You can't take the bucket. You can't take the bucket. I have to leave the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too much. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Can't take the bucket.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
I have to do this.
Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
I have to do this now.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I have to do this.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I've been tricked.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
I should have took the bucket.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, there's nothing worse than having dreams of you actually working.
So, he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Oh, man.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
All right, stream. I I have to end it. If I keep going, I won't make it to work tomorrow. So I have to end it here. Appreciate everybody who came out, especially you, Ginger Shell. You stayed here the whole time. I appreciate it. We're just gonna let the time keep ticking in the background. I'm gonna upload this in full tomorrow. I guess it'll be uploaded, but I'm gonna basically make this a video in full, no cuts, no edits. So if you miss it, you can watch it again. If you missed anything, you can watch it again. But yeah, that's it. I really enjoyed this game. It's my first time playing it, but I really enjoyed it. I think that might have been the most enjoyable game. Yeah, Ginger Show, we need to go to sleep. All right, but yeah, definitely want to play more games like this. I'm probably continue playing this to see what other endings there are at another day. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm tired. All right, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow, day 8. I haven't decided what I'm playing. You have a good night, Ginger. Everybody else, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.